Today, I thought the VINwiki comment section could use a little bit of spicing up. A lot of people will completely agree with what I'm about to say, and a lot of people will completely disagree, and we might get some views of this video for people who just want to come on and comment and say, this guy's crazy. But I'm here to tell you why the C4 Corvette is the best Corvette. Exhibit 1 is the fact that the C4 Corvette underwent a substantial original performance improvement from the 1984 car to the 1996 car, and no other generation previous or hence has come anywhere near what the C4 did. So when we start with the 1984 car, we have a 205 horsepower, 5.7 liter V8. Now that's an awful lot of displacement and an awful lot of nothing going on. It had the crossfire injection, which is more accurately known as the ceasefire, of course, and it had the weird Doug Nash 4+3 manual overdrive transmission. So this was a 5-speed manual that had 4 forward positions and an overdrive button on the top of the gear shifter. So the idea was when you're in second gear, press overdrive, it will shift to third for you, and when you hammer the gas pedal, it'll quickly downshift to second again. So it gives you one quick downshift, for whatever that's worth. I myself would prefer probably a traditional 5-speed position gearbox, but that was just another thing to break on the car, and there you go. And when we got to the 1996 final year of the C4 Corvette, now we have the LT4 engine in the car, which you could get as an option in the base model. That car had 330 horsepower. So we've gone from 205 to 330 over the course of this car's generational life, and over 50% increase. No other Corvette has done anything like that. In a car that only weighs a little over 3,000 pounds, that kind of horsepower jump is quite meaningful. And the C4 platform was very happy to receive upgrades as well. Performance mods and hop-ups and things like that. I've done it with my own C4, where I started with a 1993 stock LT1, 300 horsepower. Now I've got a cam in there for a little bit of chop, which I like, and a little bit of sound. Did the cylinder heads, push rods, roller rockers, not that I know what those are, and catless long tube headers, and a Corsa Extreme exhaust. I had it dynoed. This car is making 400 brake horsepower now. And once again, a great, meaningful improvement for a just over 3,000 pound car. I have a super time in the thing. Exhibit 2 is the reactions I get with the car. In this day and age, given the other cars that are there at Cars and Coffee, and when I show up in this thing, the best compliment I ever actually got with this car was when the guy said to me as I was rolling by, "Actually, that's a nice car." Now, I took that in extreme positive fashion. When someone's at a Cars and Coffee looking at McLarens and Ferraris and Huracans and Aventadors, and then they see my car go by and they say, "Actually, that's a nice car." Perfect, thank you. I think so too. And if I go through a drive-thru getting a coffee, or if I'm getting a burger, and the teenager working at the window says, "That's a really nice car," thank you. Maybe the best experience I've ever had in the car was in Niagara Falls, Ontario, when I was out with a C7 and a C8, my friend James with the excellent orange popping C7 Grand Sport convertible, and my friend Alan with his striking popping yellow C8. And there was me with my 1993 green kind of disappears compared to the other two cars, C4. And Niagara Falls, of course, is a tourist destination for around the world, and there was a Bolivian father and son. Guy was about my age. He was in his mid-late 40s. He had a son who was a young teenager. This guy was absolutely over the moon over the fact of my C4 being there. It's sitting next to the C7, the C8, and this guy, like the reactions he was doing, he was like, as he was looking at it, like he was seeing a unicorn or something like that. And he explained to me, like, this was the car that was my absolute dream when I was a kid, and I've never seen one before. Seeing my C4 Corvette was absolutely made his day, made the trip for him and everything, and just a really cool thing to happen. So the reactions that I get from this car in this day and age, amongst everything else going on, must mean that the C4 is something special. Exhibit 3 is, of course, the fact that the C4 Corvette is out there in the by and large with a great reputation for being one of the best cars you can buy at this relatively low price point. Now we have Jeremy Clarkson saying that the Alpha GT V6 is the best car in the world for 10 grand. I've stood next to one or two of them at car shows, and I think they're pretty cool to look at, but I've obviously never driven one, so I can't really say. I wouldn't doubt his opinion, of course, though, but everyone short of him says, as far as I can tell, the C4 Corvette is the one to have. And I absolutely understand why, because it's amazing to look at. It's a Very pretty car, perfectly proportioned. The wedge shape and the curves and the size of it is just great. And it runs excellent when you have the right engine in it with the right tuning and some good gas. You can just go out and have a ball driving this thing around. So absolutely, I can't come up with another car that would be better for, $10,000 to $15,000 for a really good example of a car to have a great time in. Exhibit 4, I have to thank John Sabo for. He and I were chatting at the Amelia about Corvettes in general, and we're both huge fans and we've been around them all our lives. And he said to me, yeah, the C4 Corvette is the first one that had really good special editions, right? The C1 and the C2, they didn't have any. The C3, they started with these pace car things and, silver anniversary, which were essentially just paint jobs. And the C4 is when we started to have a really good, better than base car available. The ZR1 obviously stands out as the outlier there. It was a tremendous car in its day. It was the king of the hill, and the C4 ZR1 today, again, is an excellent car. We had the collector's edition convertible and coupe, which was silver with bigger wheels and tires on the back, a better engine, a little bit of reworking, and the Grand Sport, which was tremendous. This blue with the white stripe, giant rear tires, and reworking of the intake and exhaust. So there we go. We have bona fide, better than the base model cars with the C4 Corvette, and they command premiums to this day, and they're excellent. Now, Exhibit 5, I say with a little bit of emotion, and I'm really not just throwing names around here, but if you are watching this video and you're a fan of VINwiki, or perhaps a big fan of VINwiki, then obviously you are a huge fan of Rob Pitts. I got my start with VINwiki by watching Rob talking about a 35th anniversary Corvette, which is of course a C4, and if you're standing here as a fan of this channel, Rob Pitts was a huge C4 guy.
Autotempest.com just got even better. We've always loved Autotempest because they compile all the results from all the major listing sites into one place with one search. But now they've just added their search by description option, which means that you can just put in a string of text of what car, what miles, whatever you want, and they go to all the sites and give you the results so quickly and so powerfully so you can see the entire market with more advanced precision than ever before. Of course, if you still want to use the traditional drop-down menus of year, make, model, trim, price, miles, all the things, they allow you to do that, but this makes it so much faster and so much easier to find exactly the car that you're looking for from whatever deep dark corner of the internet it might be trying to hide in. And so check out Autotempest now at the link in the description below or with the QR code on your screen to thank them for their support of VINwiki and find your next car on Autotempest.